All right, guys, we've reached our last night of Take Home Catechism, and tonight we are going to cover 4 different commandments for our last time together. The first couple of times we talked about kind of how we were able to respect God and then how we were able to respect others. This week, the last 4 commandments are really about relationships with other people and how to have healthy relationships, how to keep good boundaries, how to respect others, and how to respect yourself. And the perfect place to start is with the 6th commandment. You shall not commit adultery. So the literal meaning is be faithful to your spouse. And sometimes when I have a hard time coming up with understanding what this means, I like to just ask some 4-year-olds. And so I've got a video here of my friend's 4-year-old telling us about what she learned in preschool about this commandment.
You're married to a dad and a mom, and if like you kiss another person, God doesn't like that, and it's really mean, so don't do that. That's what it is. Bye.
Thanks, Caroline, for spelling it out for us. So the commandment makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and maybe it's including you or even including your parents. Our culture gives us a lot of messages about relationships and spouses and sex, marriage and dating, but it's off, even though we're kind of surrounded by it, it still can be a little uncomfortable to talk about. So why are these things such big deals? Why is it so important that God included it in the commandment and in the Bible? And I think that's why. It's because it's a really big deal. And so because of that, God wanted to make sure that we knew where God stood on relationships and marriage. We know that being unfaithful to somebody is a bad thing. There's been like a million songs that have been written about it. So why is it that this is such a big deal that God is going to talk to us about it? And I think first it's because marriage is a promise. And if you are unfaithful, you break that promise. And the second is because God values love and intimacy and doesn't want you to hurt the people that you've given that promise to and that you've said that you would love and be faithful to for the rest of your life. But here's the thing. I'm not married. And as far as I know, none of the Catechism kids are married. So I kind of feel like we should be able to just ignore this commandment until someone puts a ring on it. It doesn't work like that. Whether you're married or not, there's still a lot of things that we can learn from this commandment about relationships as a whole. I mean, yeah, obviously when we talk about relationships, we mean people that we might be dating, people that you're married to, but romantic relationships are only part of it. There are a lot of other relationships in our lives. Your friends, your family, people at school, your teammates, even your teachers and pastors and people that are an authority figure in your life. And it means a lot more than just intimacy. It means consent of how you want someone else to treat you and the rules and the promises that you've set forth in both your marriage and your relationships. So what you're comfortable with, what you're comfortable having around your body or having done to your body. It means what you're comfortable with in your environment. For example, my roommate is named Hillary, and Hillary's great. We get along super, super well. But we had to have a conversation about our apartment when COVID hit. And we had to have a conversation about who we were comfortable with having in our space, knowing that they might be bringing germs with them that the other one's not comfortable with. So because of that, right now, we can't have anybody over our apartment. Now, if someone were to come over, if Hillary were to invite a bunch of friends over, it would be going against my consent. It's something that I'm not comfortable with in my environment. And so that would be a perfect example of what this commandment means for someone who's not married. It also means respect and listening to others, listening to what they're comfortable with, listening to how they want to be treated. It means keeping things that are private, private. It means not sharing other people's secrets, particularly when they asked you not to share it. It means that you don't talk about things that maybe your siblings don't want everybody to know about, that you know about because you live with them. Ultimately, God wants us to have healthy relationships. And when I say healthy relationships, I mean where people don't hurt one another physically or emotionally. It means having good communication. It means sharing similar values with that person, being able to trust one another, valuing each other's time and love and intelligence and the gifts that God's given them. It means being honest with the person, always, or at least as much as you possibly can. It means disagreeing without being hurtful. It means that you can compromise when you need to. And just enjoying being with one another. It means someone that you like to be with, someone that you want to spend time with, and being faithful to one another. Well, let's think of some examples. Let's say a friend asks you to do something like go to a concert, and both of you are like so excited. You decide what you're going to wear, you get the tickets, you decide who's going to drive you, you decide, like what you're going to do when you get there, you even decide the junk food that you're going to buy at the concert venue. But then someone calls you and says that they have better seats to the concert, but they only have one additional ticket. It would be backing out on your friend if you decided to go with your other friend, even though it might be a better deal for you. It's still not being faithful to the plans and the commitment that you made to your friend that invited you in the first place. Or another one, a friend asks you to keep a secret. It's nothing like they're in trouble. It's nothing like they're in danger. Let's say they're going to move at the end of the summer and they want to tell you because they want to talk about it, but they're not really ready to have everybody at school know that they're going to be moving to another state. If you tell people, you're breaking their trust. If you tell people, you're being unfaithful to what they ask you to do. What's weird about this commandment is it's not always individual tasks that you do or individual things that you do. Sometimes it's just about how you in general are in relationship with the people around you, how you are able to communicate with other people, how you speak about your friends or how you speak about other people. Do you use kind words and respect, or are you talking negatively about people? Particularly your family, your friends, your teammates, and your romantic partners. We have 2 videos left for tonight. Check out those 2 videos, answer the questions, and then at the bottom of the page, there are several questions or several situations that I want you to read through with your adult that you have with you. And I want you guys to talk about what commandment you think, if any, were broken. Some of them may be kind of one of those gray areas where you say, I don't think this is a commandment that's broken. I don't think this person did anything wrong. Or it may be that there's a couple commandments. So have a conversation about what, if any, commandments you think were broken in the situations at the bottom of the page. Have a great night, and I will see you all in January. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I love you all.